First thing is grinding. We got to grind the tiles. All tiles are non-porous, and we want to get it to where it's porous. So we take a concrete grinder, diamond cup wheel, same thing you use for grinding concrete surfaces, and we grind the smooth layers off the tile. So you can notice it's rough, it's porous now. What that's going to do is allow our coating to soak in and bond to the tiles. And so that's very vital that you do that step. Grinded our corners right here as much as we could without messing up the sheetrock. You want to make sure you wipe it, clean it really well. And so that's basically what we did here. The shelf right here, grinded the shelf as well. And then if I run my hand on it, I'm not getting like dust, right? So we want to make sure we clean it really well. And then the next step, Alex is finishing taping. And notice when we're taping, you can see that we tape away. We don't tape right up to the tile. See the gap? You always want a gap, because when we coat this, we don't want to cover up the tape completely and have to cut it out after the product dries. We got thick mill plastic on the floor, same thing on the floor. We're not coating the shower pan because it is a plastic pan, has some flex to it. And so again, notice how you see a white edge there. We taped away from that wall. So when we go to pull and retape, you know, the tape's gonna pull easy. We're gonna have a nice clean flush line there. So yeah, this is pretty much ready. We'll go outside. I'll talk about mixing patch or paste, the process on that, and then we'll throw the camera up, show you guys us putting it down on the walls. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the A and the B, 5-gallon bucket. I'm gonna mix that up until it's a uniform color, no streaking of different colors. Then we'll add the pigment in, mix that in, add the sand at the same time, mix it for a couple minutes, and then we're immediately gonna go inside and start applying it to the shower. So while he's finishing mixing, one thing, make sure you guys are using a corded drill. If you're using battery powered drills, it's just a pain in the butt. So get a corded drill, big paddle mixer, and then if you leave it in the bucket, it's like epoxy, it's gonna generate heat, kick off faster. If we dump it out on cardboard and spread it out thin, that's gonna give us longer working time. It's gonna give us more pot life, more time to use the product instead of leaving it in a bucket, because again, we're gonna be dumping in those mud trays, trialing it on, right? So it's gonna take a little longer. So if we leave it in the bucket, it's gonna wanna set up faster. Real quick, all you contractors, if you're looking for ways to add revenue to your business, or maybe you wanna start a new business, we have the answer. LeggariAcademy.com will teach you everything you need to know about the coatings industry. So we're on the next day. Before we left, Alex pulled the top tape. If you pull it when you're done, like he did the top, see how nice that edge looks? Nice and clean, pulled, don't have to worry about it. We just didn't pull the side. So the plan today is we need to scrape. So we just take a metal scraper, putty knife, scraper, and you'll see we're just trying to knock off any loose flakes, get it as flat as we can. That's basically what we're gonna do to the whole shower. We wanna knock off all the loose ones. We'll get all that done, get everything cleaned up, retape, and then we're gonna be mixing, calls for about 80 ounces of product for this next coat. We're gonna mix up 3 quarts, so we'll have about 96 ounces. kind of the final stages here. So what we did was we showed up after we did that second broadcast layer, sanded all the walls. We used 36 grit just because it's a heavier grit. You don't have to sand as hard, and those pads will last longer. You don't want to use the red pads from like Home Depot. They will transfer some of that red dye that's in those pads. We did the corners by hand, folded the sandpaper, got in these corners really good. All the tops, the shelf right here, right? And I always like to, after sanding, I like to run my hand on it. You'll feel any sharp edges. We want to get this as flat as we can before we start our final coats. And then we retaped the bottom, the shower bottom, new plastic, everything's cleaned up now. And then if you have any spots like right here, we got kind of a, where you can see, can you see that, James? So you can see kind of the existing grout. Real simple fix. We'll brush some poly in there, pack a little flake in it, brush over it lightly, and we can address that on this coat. So it is always nice to pull tape so you can see if you have any imperfections, and we can fix those. Kind of just babysit it. Once you get it on, it'll start to tack up relatively quickly and quit running, dripping, stuff like that. So those are kind of the things you want to look for. Obviously wear a mask, get some good ventilation, stuff like that. So we're gonna get going, get this next coat on and see how it looks.